The lack of safety regulations and enforcement in the construction industry in Calgary and how it puts workers at risk of injury or death. Construction workers in Calgary face many hazards when they work in trenches and excavations. These hazards include cave-ins, falls, electrical contact, and struck-by injuries. A cave-in can happen suddenly and without warning, burying workers under tons of soil. A fall can cause serious injuries or death if a worker lands on a hard surface or a sharp object. An electrical contact can electrocute a worker if they touch a live wire or a metal object that is energized. A struck-by injury can occur if a worker is hit by a falling object, a vehicle, or a piece of equipment. According to the Occupational Health and Safety Act, OHSA, which contains regulations that govern excavations, employers must take precautions to prevent these hazards and protect workers. These precautions include calling 811 to locate and mark underground utilities, evaluating the soil type and stability, designing and installing a protective system such as sloping, shoring, or shielding, inspecting the excavation daily and after any weather changes, providing safe access and egress, using personal protective equipment, and having a competent person on site who can identify and correct hazards. However, many employers in Calgary do not follow these regulations or enforce them properly. They may cut corners to save time and money, ignore the risks, or lack the knowledge and training to ensure safety. As a result, workers are exposed to dangerous conditions that can lead to injury or death. One tragic example of this is the case of Michael Piconco, who died in 2014 when a trench he was working in collapsed on him. He was installing a water line for a new home in Calgary when the trench caved in without warning. He was buried under 3 meters of dirt and suffocated before he could be rescued. He was only 23 years old. A coroner's inquest into his death found that the trench had no protective system in place, such as a trench box or a slope. The employer had not called 811 to locate underground utilities, had not evaluated the soil type or stability, had not inspected the trench daily or after rain, had not provided safe access or egress, had not used personal protective equipment, and had not assigned a competent person on site. The coroner's jury made 17 recommendations to improve safety regulations and enforcement in the construction industry in Calgary, but none of them were accepted by the provincial government. This is just one of many examples of how the lack of safety regulations and enforcement in the construction industry in Calgary puts workers at risk of injury or death. Workers deserve better protection and respect for their lives and health. They deserve to work in safe conditions that prevent trench collapse and other hazards. They deserve to go home to their families at the end of the day.